Good morning. Sir, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon to all. Today, we will carry on with the measuring performance. Yesterday, we have done with the analysis of performance. So, after analysis, the next step will be how we are going to measure performance. So, measuring performance is divided into three units. They are 360 degrees appraisal. Next one, assessment center. And third one is potential appraisal. So earlier, having both traditional and modern methods of performance appraisal and tools are used to measure performance. Therefore, examination of performance and reporting it to for further purposes or further processes, it is regarded as human assessment. So this is exclusively regarding about the human mental process, not the mechanical. So a performance examination is a mental process. So performance appraisal gives significant benefit to employees, not to the organization. It gives only, it is concentrate only on employees. It's regarding only with the employees, not with the organization. When employees are designed in a significant manner, then the organization will yield high productivity for achieving goals. Earlier, being used traditional appraisal methods were used with the subjective as well with objective manner. So now these modern methods used on multi-instrumental and multi-rated feedback with the different parties interacting with employees to make performance appraisal on a 360-degree scale. So thus, it considered as more objective appraisal. Now we have a doubt, why do we measure performance? Because we measure, it helps the company to identify their strengths, their weaknesses, and to improve and to set some benchmarkers with the or based on the historical data also. So this, what is the main objective of this appraisal? The main objective is to know the essentials of effective appraisal and initiate to implement 360-degree performance appraisal effectively in the organization to evaluate the role of different appraisers in 360-degree performance appraisal. Thus, it provides a comprehensive understanding of performance appraisal in the organization, or you can say in the whole system. So this is a basic meaning, basic significant meaning how the performance appraisal is unique in each organization with a number of methods available Some methods are defined as the systematic or others are informal. So having appraisal methods with the two bases, like one is on the results, the other one is on the traits. Results, your performance, your evaluation, and the traits are regarding about your behavior, how you interact with appraiser and the appraisee. So these works, targets, goals, and physical performance are subject to evaluate on the basis of results. Your work, target, goals, and your physical performance are subjected to evaluate on the result basis. On the other hand, regarding about the traits, only the basic employees' personal attributes, behavior only are measured. So based on this, in further, if you go into the detailed method, we can study under the single trait and trade multiple subject method and multiple trade method, how to evaluate from one person with the other number of traits. One person is having number of traits, means behavior, is attributes. Like you can compare one person with the other person on the single trait. When one person is doing the same thing, the other person, opposite person also doing the same behavior. That also can be studied under the traits. Traits, we have three methods. The subject to this appraiser, we can study under three methods. These traits are studied under three methods. Single trait method, that means only one person is evaluated. Under the single trait, only one person is evaluated. Coming to the next one, single trait with the multiple subject method. That means one person is compared with the other person with a single trait. And third one is multiple trait with the single subject method. That means here you can evaluate in this method one person on a number of traits. For example, one person can sing, dance, everything, etc., etc. He is well spoken. So like that. Like that, we follow three types of multiple traits in the organization. Now coming to these are methods how you follow in the performance appraisal. Now coming to the how these traditional methods are explained. First basic point is here you go with the easy method. This means this is the oldest method how you follow earlier. Here we see various parameters used are quality, quantity of work, performance, job knowledge, and how policies, what are the procedures, and what are the rules and regulations. On whole, we study only about the strengths and weaknesses, how potential, what are the promotions, what are the need for the training. That means for only few employees' behavior are studied under this traditional method. So it is only his opinion in a form of a written paragraph. Earlier we had only the written paragraph. So this is where we have followed under the traditional method. And another oldest method in which person from HR department gives based on his output, attendance, production, losses or quality. So we all studied under this different review, how the field is taken, carried on for the purpose, for the process. And what are the measuring standards of performance are established. So it is measured against the work standards. And here we had a checklist, a series of questions relating to the behavior. It is called only, in other words, a checklist. The appraiser answers either these questions with the two opinions only, yes or no. No further detailed knowledge about the appraisee. So in that place, we are only ticking a mark, right or wrong. So after completion of this HR department from calculation of the total score and ranking method is given relatively thinking based on the checklist. So like that, and grading was given. These are all adopted under the traditional methods, how they are given in the traditional method, how they are followed. Now, coming to the next point, how are the modern methods are followed? How are modern methods are followed? Can have a word with other students who are attending the class. Hello?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, Harshit?
Krishna Mohan.
Krishna Mohan. So you are attending for the first time, I think.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Just now I joined.
Very good, very good. Did you follow previous?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, I had checked out in YouTube, ma'am.
Okay. Now we are in the block 3 today. We're just going ahead with it. You know in which block we are? Block 3, measuring performance. Today class is carried on the measuring performance. You should know, no?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a syllabus right now?
Yeah, I am holding textbook in front of me, ma'am.
Very good, very good.
360 degrees performance appraisal.
Or a material you have?
Material only, ma'am. That this material.
Yeah. So how this measuring performance, like I'm just going ahead with the teaching, lecturing. I think you have a knowledge about the block 1, block 2. Did you go through anything?
No, ma'am. I will go through, ma'am. Actually, yesterday I listened for some time only. So I will I will take it out, ma'am.
Okay. You're working, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Where are you working?
So I work for BrahMos Aerospace, ma'am, a defense organization.
Okay. Yeah, from Hyderabad or?
Yes, ma'am. Hyderabad only.
Very good, very good. Harshit, how are you?
No, I am good, ma'am.
Very good, very good. Did you follow from the beginning or you just joined?
No, ma'am. Yesterday onwards, I am following.
Very good, very good. Now we are discussing about how the modern methods are studied under the performance appraisal. Okay, I'm just carrying on. So now traditional methods are over based on the oldest method. This is one of the oldest method how the organization is followed for measuring performance as a whole. They just have they didn't had a detailed note about information regarding about the behavior of each employee performance. But when introducing the modern methods of performance appraisal, the more participative and multi-rater oriented methods are developed. So you have a difference between traditional method and the modern method. In the oldest traditional method, it is a very easy method. Like you studied only various parameters regarding about the quality, quantity of work, what is the knowledge of each, not each employee, on the whole employees and whole organization. Wherein in traditional method, we are studying more participative between employer and the employee, or the appraiser and the appraisee. Got the difference? So these methods have slightly inclined towards psychological basis. Based on the psychological basis, there are more participative with multi-rater oriented methods are developed. So these are followed. Which one are helping the management to improve this? So they follow certain objectives. That means MBO. You have studied in your principles of management or MOB, management organization behavior, how the behavior is taken place through the management by introducing the objectives. So they have later principle MBO, management by objective. So this is the basic objective measurable performance goals in the modern method. And there are certain assessment centers. In this assessment center, the psychological tests are stimulated for the working exercises are used in the assessment center to evaluate each and every employee. That means they use multiple types of evaluation and multiple raters. Therefore, performance appraisal is more objective and acceptable. Traditional methods only are on the subjective manner, but wherein modern methods are always on the objective method, how they are accepted with the evaluation with the multiple raters. That means based these assessment centers are established to note each and every employee in the organization. And they were also with the behavioral rating scale. Here initially they were rating only on the traditional scale. Under the behavioral rating, BARS, there is a acronym, behavioral anchored rating scale. So these were performance dimension. It is relocated. How? Based on the observation, this behavior are scaled with resulting how you are instrumented to prepare with the job specification, and how you are going to observe, how you are going to measure the behavior. So these are all behavioral expectation scales are observed in this behavior. Bars you say, in short, you say bars. Now, how you are going to measure the scorecard? Scorecard is a multiple device where you can derive the proposal of business units, their processes, and how many departments are in each department, whether it is on a long term or a short term, how the goals are balanced, are all indicators in a casual manner how to progress in achieving the areas of all the fields. Either it can be a finance department or customer satisfaction or interpersonal relationship, what are the learning skills, and what are the growths are studied under the balance score. And lastly, under the modern method, 360-degree performance appraisal is done on by adopting multi-rater from all 4 directions, like what of each position. He can be by the supervisors, subordinates, peers means group of people, or outside the customers, how they are involved in the process of performance appraisal. So these are all studied under the modern methods, how performance appraisal is evaluated in all 4 dimensions. So we are studying here in the detailed manner by adopting multi-rated performance dimension. And how there is a bias in performance. Bias means either it can be a technical bias or psychological bias. Technical bias is nothing but your judgment, your organization structure, your top management, how it is measured. Psychological bias is your attitude, your feeling, your emotions are all used under the bias in performance appraisal. So this is regarding about how the psychological bias and the technical bias are used under the performance appraisal. And how you are going to measure to minimize this, because we have a technical biases are many, multiple, and even the psychological bias are also multiple. So how you are going to limit, how you are going to minimize, how you are going to condense this bias. So here, one must interpret performance appraisal in a considering manner, because performance appraisal can never be perfectly satisfied to everyone because of various psychological perceptions. If you think individually, can you accept all your individual behavior of opposite person? No. So each one has their own limitation, own satisfaction, or liking, or etc. etc. In the organization, it's very, very difficult to satisfy each and every one in the organization because of various psychological perceptions. So here, one must interpret performance appraisal by considering how to measure or how to minimize this bias. So like we can adopt by objective method, like you are increasing your reliability, and how you are going to facilitate by the appraiser, how you are going to handling inconsistency, and how you are going to participate with the subordinates to eliminate all doubts about the systems by encouraging free and fair discussion, where you are enabling subordinates, and how this makes subordinate accept the vision by giving training in developing knowledge and improving personality to adopt unbiased approach, can develop appraisers credibility. So these are all we can minimize in the organization. Now, secondly, we study about to minimize in the bias based on the credibility of our. Now coming to the next point, how different appraisers raters play with the objective method, with the superior, with the peers, with the subordinates or customers, in-depth knowledge about how are the different appraiser role in 360 degrees. So what are these advantages of 360-degree appraisal? What actually it means? See, this 300-degree performance appraisal is a very benefited to the employees who are prepared to match their self-assessment by using significant variation for making their corrections, for improving their performance. Then and there they are getting corrected by themselves, self-centers. So this appraisal is an improvement over the traditional methods. It gives you a detailed note or information to understand by the employee. This is preferred over the traditional method due to number of advantages are offered to the employees, organization, and the clients. Clients in the sense customers. How it is going to be benefited to the employees, because 360-degree appraisal is a comprehensive. It is a self-improvement, self-assessment. So it is a comprehensive assessment, in short, you can say. Second one, it is also a benefited to the credibility. Credibility means what? You need to have same bias. Bias in the sense, appraisal increases and subordinates also accept in this by maintaining the interpersonal relationship from all the directions, not only by the superior, it is enhanced relationship between from all the 4 dimensions by number of ideas provided in the appraisal process, where the self-introspective in their behavior, styles, and working conditions are sound for the inputs for implementation. So this gives you already a responsibility in the assessment process, which empowers the employees to more and more skills needed, and how the teamwork were supported to each other by conducting interpersonal relationship with the, and how they are technically enriched, how they are using their technology. Technology technically means your coding and programs are conducted, how you are documenting, how you are establishing with the suggestions from all the parties. So these all enriches the technical knowledge, how a human is adopted in the management process. So these are all the advantages of the performance appraisal. Now coming to the main point, how now we are studying in detail about the 3 units. First unit is 360-degree appraisal. Second one, assessment centers, and what is the third one? Did you remember?
Potential appraisal, madam.
Yeah, very good, very good. Now, we are going ahead with the each and every unit, that subunit of our performance appraisal. What do you mean by performance appraisal and its meaning, its objective? In short, you can say it is more and more on the interpretation of data. Number of counseling sessions are scheduled to solve the problems at the work performance appraisal. So this method is followed in this only about the how you are in from the four direction, like superiors, subordinates, peers, and the customers are leading. Here, a question arises how this 360-degree appraisal is identified. What is the main objective of this? What is the main objective of 360 degrees? It is only to identify. What to identify? Their strength, their weaknesses of employees, and it is identifying effective performance of various roles. Various roles you can say, for example, your quality, your quantity, your traits, your attributes, your behavior, and what are your styles, what are your competencies, and how you are going to deal with interpersonal relationship. It provides a basic knowledge for identifying all the areas which is impact on the organization as a whole. So the main objective of 360 degree is only to identify your strengths and weaknesses in the organization. In short, to remember, you have to remember the main objective of performance appraisal is only a multi-rated method. Multi-rated method means you are studied, you are knowing all from 4 dimensions. What are the 4 dimensions? Your super. Can you tell me? Who are the 4 superiors, subordinates, peers, and the customers? And you can say clients also. So apart from this number of attributes such as values, their behavior, their talent, their mannerism, pattern of their working style, how it is going to lead in for improvement, for betterment, for knowing all the skills there regarding, which are all appraised in this manner. So these all studied under the 360-degree appraisal. So that is the reason, in short, they call it is a multi-rated method where you can study as a whole, and how it is essential to the effective. So any performance appraisal has a common how to minimize, how to deal with in the organization. So there are different conditions are essential in the effective 360-degree by gradual development, deployment, designing, and how you are going to develop, what are the methods are used, and what is the participation between the effective employees, whether they have accepted, whether they have adjusted to the system, is there any require mandatory or voluntarily participation by the employees from all the process, how they are designing in the appraisal system. So such voluntary participation also builds trust in the minds of employees. So this is the open discussion with the people regarding their opinions are considered to develop their targets, their standards, their training programs. So these are very, very effective in the 360-degree performance appraisal. So that is the reason, in short, it is called the multi-rated method. Is it clear? And here in overall, if you study short 360-degree methods are studied under the traditional method as well as with the modern method. So traditional methods are used only the physical work. Okay, in short, I'm explaining what is the 360-degree performance appraisal. There are two types of methods used, traditional and the modern, and the traditional methods are only used for the physical work performance, and they're very easy to adopt with the standards, with the checklist, with the field, by rating method yes or no, and paired comparison between grading methods have given, etc. etc. So some rating methods are also there, graphing methods are also. So due to appraisers bias present in the traditional method, modern methods have come into existence because they are not fully successful in the behavior pattern. So they have introduced on the bias of the traditional method, these modern methods have adopted. So they have come into existence. How management are used by the objectives, by conducting assessment centers and by conducting behavioral anchoring rating method, how the scorecard, balance card are maintained, and how this 360-degree performance appraisal are in effective for the each and every. So this basically, the performance appraisal is a mental process with a number of psychological bias, how to evaluate, and here we can study under the case study hollow effect. Hollow effect means what? We study year one, a case study. It is given in your what do you call that, your material very clearly, how reasons or faulty assumptions are late. So these are all used in this 360 degrees, how it is subjective when you compare with the objective manner. So here performance appraisal under the 360 degree, it is only a objective method is designed carefully to develop how the participation between the elicited through the. So this is about the 360 degrees appraisal method. Now coming to the next one, what are the assessment centers? Assessment centers are the tools for evaluating the competence. It is most of the modern organization centers are used in the combination of management decisions with their techniques. Technique is how the 360-degree appraisal and potential appraisal are developed, center mostly with the similar tools. While the assessment centers only focuses on the present potential, and the development centers on the development of employees in general. So here assessment centers and the applications of organizations are basic objective to measure potentialities of all the levels of employees. So the main objective of assessment center is only to determine potential competencies by implementing various action plans, how to achieve your goals accordingly, how you are measuring their skills from all the levels by providing about their positions in the organization. And there is another important point, how it is decided their development needs and what are their strategies of training and how the programs are conducted whenever necessary. So this assessment centers believe to use in the industrial settings, not on the physical places, but reflect use of multi-assessment tools were used by the multiple assessors in order to evaluate individual competences, individual performance, individual potentialities. So these assessment centers have participants, assessors. They have two types of people in the assessment centers. Who are they? Participants and who are conducting assessors. So both are human beings. So both are evaluating present with the subject manner of what are the errors, how many number of errors are there, how to evaluate. So in order to make this assessment center reliable, certain important requirements are to be presented to know about the job analysis and how we are going to mapping with the competencies and what are the standards and how the behavioral attributes are categorized and how the analyses are done by the behavior and what are the stimulations, how you have stimulated each and employee by multiplying the assessment methods and how are the accessors and what are the training you have given on each trait and what are the coaching you have led to develop. So these are the final consolidation of presenting your traits in the structure of the assessment centers from all the departments, and it is these centers also varies from organization to organization. It should not be it's not the confined only with the same. Even within the organization also it is varies from one activity with the another activity also. It cannot be said that same activities is followed in another department. Similarly, one organization is unique with the another organization. So this is the structure and how it is designed in the assessment center, which help the people for documenting about the data, their multiple techniques, and what are the competencies are all followed in a standardized manner process to increase reliability of this. Number of tools are used in the assessment center. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is about regarding about the how assessment centers is basically used in the performance appraisal, how it is suggested in the future course of action. So these are the main tools for the performance management. Now I think it is time up. Tomorrow we will be going ahead with the potential appraisal in the next class. Or I can continue for another 10 minutes. Or
Yeah,
you
ma'am.
have
No,
a
ma'am,
class.
okay.
Yeah, you have to attend another class.
No, ma'am.
You're free?
After lunch only there is a class, ma'am. Again.
Okay. Can I go ahead with other point or should I continue in the next class?
Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, ma?
Go ahead, ma'am.
I can go ahead, no problem.
No problem.
Yeah. Now coming to the next one. Third point, that means we conclude our 2 points. And what is the third unique point about the performance appraisal is potential appraisal. You all know what is appraisal. Can I have a word? What is appraisal? What do you mean by appraisal?
It's a psychological condition of interpersonal relationship between cadres.
And appraisal is a behavior. It's a trait. It is a psychological. When you think about the employee on the psychological bias, you need to know about what is the method they are using under the significant aspect of our performance management. It is only to subject to the exclusively about what? To identify what an appropriate tool is using in the organization, because individuals have a number of potential skills. These may not be used in current assessment, no? So which are skills are useful to perform in a correct manner, how the efficiency to take up for the higher level of assignments are also. So these are all appropriated in various positions, how to explore their abilities. So based on this are all we studied under the psychological. For example, if you think about our individuality, we will be in different psychological aspect in the daytime, in the afternoon time. Can you be the same like in hourly? How it is changes our mind. But when you put under our behavior, your traits, your skills, your training under the organization, you need to follow a method. You need to follow a technique. So these are all put on an overall comprehensive method. We adopt these 3 units, how to maintain 360-degree performance appraisal. So when you think about our individuality, these all techniques, tools we should use in our daily life also, not only in the organization. You have to be very, very effectively, efficiently have to follow some methods. Like in at a working condition at your place also you have to follow. You have to be very, very similar manner. Like you have to continuously, you have to work within the stipulated time given by the organization. You have to maintain your interpersonal relationship with the subordinates, your supervisor, from all the dimension, part of your different departments. So these are all studied under different single trait, multiple trait, how you are. So one person has a single behavior, another person is having multiple behavior. We all come across all this in the organization, isn't it? So this exclusively we study how the behavioral skills has to be studied under the different categories, and how you have to improve your potentialities. To maintain your potentialities, there are necessary steps to use. So these are all basically tools for your career planning and successful in your organization, and how you are maintaining with the activities on the continuous process. So as the organization is a complete system, you have to follow a policy in the organization where you get the feedback and bring the changes from time to time to suit your changing requirement then and there. So this use of potential appraisal is used as a tool for promotion, for career planning, and how successful you are in your coming future process. So these are all study in short with the potential appraisal. Now coming to the main, what is the main characteristic of potential appraisal? You can say in other words, it is done only after the performance executed. Potential appraisal is objective method to understand. It is derived only after the performance has been executed. Here you have to notice, while performing job, employee may not use all his potential skills, etc., etc. He might having higher level of potential to perform what is used in the job. So some are benefited in the organization to use how human resources is the best for the growth of organization. So these are all about a part of potential appraisal is a part of organization. That means it is a part of performance appraisal. The main objective is to identify hidden talents. What is the main objective of that? This is only derived, this is only studied after the performance is done. After the performance is done, you are evaluating his hidden talent. That is known as potential appraisal. That means hidden talents and potentialities of the individual. You are preparing and you are identifying your future roles of employees within the organization, where these are the primary forces of potential appraisal. It is a mechanism to discover hidden part of an individual. So here we have some appraisal programs also, mostly associated with the multinational companies like Philips, Hindustan Lever, Glasso, Procter and Gamble, etc., are conducting potential appraisal separately. This you can study under the case study We have very good case studies at the end of the part. You can see what is the process of identification of skill, abilities, talents, how he is competent. These are all the future-oriented evaluation by identifying the hidden potentialities in the employees to determine their suitable positions in the organization hierarchy. So based on the potentialities, you have given the grading also in a systematic manner where people are needed to perform excellently to identify and to evaluate employee potential. So responsibilities are also given on the high productivity level. For instance, any employee in working in salesperson is achieving targets in an easy manner. With the available of free time, he is guiding and helping others by giving training. So therefore, he has a hidden talent of being a leader in organization. Taking the leadership is not the part of present job, but it is a hidden talent in the organization. So this is a certain example how, for example, a group of people are in the class. By experience, you can tell of one student will be intelligent and he'll be helping a group of people in a easy method to understand the concept of what is the subject matter. So this is called as objective manner, how he is explaining in a comprehensive manner where all the students can. So he is playing a leadership role. So based on his potentialities in the organization, the hierarchy level will also be changing for the future oriented purposes. So it is a hidden talent. Not everyone has based on the potential appraisal. You can give a multi-rater. So this is a identification of abilities and how its growth and how the higher performance and what are the capabilities and how you are studied under the performance appraisal, where the hidden talents are studied under the RT. So we conclude this potential appraisal in this today's class. Is it clear? I think it's almost 12:45.
Okay, ma'am.
Then we'll
Thank
go
you.
ahead with the block 4 next class.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
So just go through your syllabus and your points. You just go through the material what the college has given. They have given you the textbooks,
Yes, ma'am. Study material they are given.
like books they have given.
Yes. Books they are given, ma'am.
Very good, very good. Then go ahead with the few cases because we are having only limited classes where we cannot discuss about the cases. We'll see in that last class if the time is there. We'll go ahead with the number of cases regarding how they are conducted. It's very, very useful for at your working conditions also. You need to study about the cases. Case study you have to go through.
Yes, ma'am. There are 10
My
case studies,
sincere
ma'am.
request is you just go through with the case studies and you can easily understand by this case study it is give you the extent of your knowledge. At your working place also, this is a very, very benefit for you also.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you
Bye,
very
sir.
much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye, Harshit. Input. Hello.